All right, boys, I'm back for another little yap sesh. Currently on the way to work, 8:05 a.m. But today I wanted to talk about the worst things and the worst investments you can make in your 20s. You know, obviously this applies to basically any age, but at 22 years old, I've made a lot of these mistakes myself, and I've kind of seen how they can bite you in the ass. And the worst possible mistake you can make, to be honest, is getting a brand new car, right? That is probably the worst fucking way to set yourself up for success in the future. When you're young, let me just give you a backstory on cars, okay? So my first car was a $2,000 2005 Honda Civic shitter that I got off Facebook Marketplace, right? And that car lasted probably about 6 months before it started having a bunch of different problems: transmission issues, engine mounts, ball joints, control arms. Everything was just shit. You know, at one point it didn't even start. I couldn't even get to work in the morning. So naturally I had to get rid of that. I took it to a mechanic and I figured out that to repair everything, to make it last a while, you know, it would cost a lot more than $2,000. It would cost more than what I paid for the car. No point in doing that, right? So what did my dumb ass decide to do? I decided that I'm going to get rid of that car. I'm going to trade it in and I'm going to buy a fucking truck. But I'm not going to buy a fucking super expensive brand new truck. I'm going to buy a fucking 2012 5.7 Hemi V8 Dodge 1500, right? A Ram 1500. So I go to one of these I found one online for really cheap. I went to test drive, everything looked fine. But guess what? It was from one of these shitty ass Middle Eastern scam fucking lemon car dealerships. My dumbass didn't know at the time. I was just a young little jit, and I traded in that Honda Civic to get the truck. Thankfully, the truck was only $12,000, but guess what? After another 6 months of driving it started to break down on me. 2 of the cylinders were misfiring. It was shit on gas. Wasn't even 4-wheel drive. It was just a bad fucking decision, right? So I need to get out of that one too, because that's also going to cost a fuck ton of money to repair. Ton of money that I don't have. So what do? I trade that in. And at this point, keep in mind, I'm so fed up of getting used shitter cars and them breaking down on me. I just want something cheap and reliable. I want a Honda or a Toyota. But, you know, I feel like I'm going to get scammed again if I buy it used. So what do? I just go to the Toyota dealership one morning and I just fucking buy a brand new 2023 Toyota Camry. And my mindset on it was that because I'm young, I don't have as much financial responsibilities as I'm going to have in the future. So I figured now, if anything, is the best time to have a car payment, because I don't have many other things that I'm paying for. You know, I'm living with my parents. I don't have to pay rent. Hold on, there's a cop driving by me. But yeah, I'm living with my parents. I don't got to pay rent. You know, expenses are low. So I figured right now would be a good time. So anyways, I put $0 down. I get a pretty good interest rate because my mom helps me co-sign. This fucking cop. But basically,
red light, camera ahead.
My car payment ends up being $615 a month. That's the minimum monthly payment. That's not including insurance or gas or maintenance, right? So $615 a month. And my dumbass just decides to pay the bare minimum, which I didn't realize this until now. But if you're paying the bare minimum monthly payment on a car payment, all that money is going straight to interest. It's not even going towards the principal balance of the car. So you're essentially just spamming paying off the interest, which I got a pretty good interest rate. I think I was at 5.4% or something like that, which for the time it was pretty good. I did get kind of scammed out of this car. It wasn't a scam, but I ended up paying a lot more for it than I should have. I went in thinking I was just gonna buy the base model. I don't care about all these features. And then they didn't have the base model, they didn't have the color I like, and all this shit. So I ended up getting a higher spec version of the car than I hoped, which ended up costing a lot of money. And not to mention all the fees. The MSRP of my car was, I think, $28,000 or 30. It was either 28 or 32. And then after all the fees and shit, ended up being 38. And thankfully my car is paid off now, but it was a fucking pain in the ass, man. Having a car payment is just fucking you straight up the ass, especially if you're a young kid, you're not making a lot of money. It's just the worst investment you can make, because guess what? Cars, no matter what type of car you get, it's a guaranteed depreciating asset, right? As soon as you drive it off the lot, it goes down, 20% in value. Every single year you're putting miles on it, it goes down even more in value. If you add mods to it, it goes down even more in value. Just basically, it's guaranteed to just go down in value over time. It's a guaranteed depreciating asset. But it's the one thing that us as Americans, we sink so much of our money into. We work so hard and go in debt and have car payments and high interest rates just to have a fucking car. You know, the car you have doesn't matter. I thought like it was going to be so cool having a brand new car when I was only 20 years old. But guess what? After 1 or 2 months, it becomes normal, dude. It's just a fucking car. You just drive it to go to work, come home, and park it in your garage. Like, it's just a means of transportation. And that's a big misconception a lot of people have in their 20s, is that, you know, getting a car, getting a nice brand new car is going to bring them so much happiness. But trust me, from firsthand experience, it does not. If I could go back, I would get a used car. I think the sweet spot for the car market right now is probably maybe like $10,000 to $12,000. I would save up cash and either buy it straight up in cash, or obviously the best car is the one that you can afford in cash. So even if you only can get a $2,000 car, I would just get that and just try to find a family friend, or go on Facebook Marketplace, try to find a garage owned, grandpa owned old Honda Civic or some shit, or like a Toyota, and just drive that around, because it really doesn't matter. The best car is the one that you can afford, and you're going to be so thankful if you do that now and just drive that car till it dies, rather than getting a brand new car, And in hindsight, I don't think I'm going to regret this decision, because my car is finally paid off. And also, my plan is that since it's a brand new car, it should be able to last a really long time. It's Toyota. I can maybe give it to my kids once I have kids, or, keep this car in the family for a long time, drive it till it dies. And while those are all valid points, it doesn't defeat the fact that it's just a money pit, man. It's just a money pit of depreciating asset. You might as well burn that fucking money. You do not get the correct, you don't get much value out of a car as you think you do. Especially, there's like a curve to it. Like, after a certain amount, you don't really get what you're paying for. And I don't know. I think the sweet spot, if y'all need a car, is either getting like a car in cash for $2,000 or up, or if you have to finance, get a car that's like only $10,000, reliable. Get a Honda or Toyota, and put as much down as you can, and get your fucking parents to co-sign, get your older brother who has a good credit to co-sign, so you can get that interest rate and that minimum monthly payment down. And don't make just the minimum payment, make a little bit above that. If your minimum monthly payment is $300, put $400 in, so that you're not just paying off the interest, you're actually paying off the principal. And that works in a similar way to compound interest in stocks, where it will just compound over time, and you'll see the benefit. You'll pay off your car so much faster if you make, just $100 more a month than that minimum monthly payment. Your principal balance will go down way quicker than you think, and you'll pay it off a lot faster than you think. Yeah, man, cars is like the main money pit that's getting a lot of young people now. And it's one of my worst financial decisions that I've ever made in my life. It's definitely the most expensive mistake I've made in my life too. Wasted so much money in cars in total. If you calculate all the value for me trading in those cars, I spent some money on some repairs for some of them, all the gas and all the insurance, bro. It's just all wasted money that I could have invested. And that's the point, man. When you're young, live below your means. In your 20s, get a cheap-ass car that you can get in cash. And any extra bit of money you can save, which you should be able to save a lot, because you shouldn't have much expenses at that age, you need to invest it and give it time to compound in the market and get that compound interest. But yeah, boys, getting a car, brand new car in your 20s, or just a car that's that you can't afford, having a fat car payment is the worst investment you can make in your 20s. That shit will fuck you in the ass, and it'll take forever to pay off.
Red light.